Hi, it's Erik Paulsen, and thanks for joining our video conversation for the week. Several students from the University of St. Thomas met with me in my office this week. Some of them are in the law school, some are in the master's programs, some are in public policy programs. It was fun talking to them and learning of their interest in combating sex trafficking and human trafficking. Ironically, this week in the House, we passed 8 additional bills, including several provisions that I have authored to help combat sex trafficking. We're going to hear more about that in the near future with bipartisan and bicameral support. Hopefully these initiatives will move forward to become law pretty soon. Time to get into the questions though, and the first comes from an email in Bloomington. It came from Beth. And Beth emailed in. She says, "Dear Erik, I'm counting on you to ensure that the Higher Education Act is swiftly reauthorized and that Congress prioritizes student access and success. We need a Higher Education Act that 1. Invests in college and access and student success, 2. Reforms the financial student aid process, and 3. Ensures that institutions provide quality instruction that equips graduates to find jobs in a 21st century economy. Please help the millions of people like me who count on affordable higher education as the path to economic security. Sincerely, Beth." Beth, you're absolutely right. It is critical that we reauthorize higher education programs and look at the rising costs of college. Several bills passed in the House this week with strong bipartisan support, addressing the issue of transparency so that parents and students know what the costs of college are and have all the information they need to make the right decisions. Secondly, we passed provisions addressing financial literacy, making sure that parents and students understand the true costs and what the ramifications are for all of their borrowing that they do as a part of the federal student loan program. We'll continue to address those issues in the coming future as well. We also heard from Janet in Coon Rapids, and Janet emailed in also saying, "Dear Congressman Paulsen, as your constituent, I urge you to protect access to the child tax credit, especially for low-income families. This tax credit is an important and effective tool in fighting poverty. It kept 3 million people out of poverty in 2012, including 1.6 million children. Please make sure the child tax credit is extended so families can continue to use this important deduction to support themselves. Thank you for your service, Janet." Janet, those are actually great comments, and you know what? We actually did make improvements to the child tax credit just this week. We not only passed legislation to make it permanent, because it has not been permanent in the past, but we also are indexing it to inflation so that it rises in conjunction with the real cost of inflation. Here's why that's important. Since 2004 all the way to 2012, inflation has had a heavy role on child care, for instance, has gone up 107%. Food prices have gone up 21%. Clothing costs have gone up 89%. However, the child tax credit has stayed exactly the same level. We index that to inflation, making sure that the value of the dollar is going to be there for all those families that have children. We also eliminate the marriage penalty and make sure the tax code is not going to penalize people for being married who have children. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, your ideas, your questions, and your comments. You can continue to do so on Facebook, on Twitter, or of course on my website at paulsen.house.gov. Have a great weekend.